Chapter 7. Forgiven. After the singing and the dancing, Ram found himself walking away from the camp toward its outskirts. He didn't want to be with his uncle Showball, and he couldn't go back to his father's tent now. Faintly aware that he was heading east, he walked past the last tent. Far enough from the campsite to be alone, he stopped. For a while he sat on the ground, then stretched himself full length and shut his eyes against the soft light of the cloud. The hard ground felt warm, and its firmness supporting to his tired body. How long he lay, if he slept or not, Ram didn't know, but suddenly he was wide awake. A man was standing over him, and instantly Ram knew it was his father. He sat up quickly, but could say nothing. Kneeling beside him, Jaraheel laid his staff on the ground. "Son, I searched high and low for you everywhere." Impulsively he reached out to grip Ram's shoulder. The pressure of his strong fingers felt good to Ram, though he didn't speak. "When I couldn't find you, I thought, I don't know what." "How did you find me?" Ram asked, looking away from his father's face. Jaraheel sat back on his heels, a half smile on his lips. "You're my son, Ram. I knew you'd want to be alone. So when I couldn't find you in the camp, I began thinking of myself in your sandals. They led me here." Ram covered his face with his hands, unable to hold back the tears. "I doubted Moses, even Yahweh. I thought you were wrong. Uncle Showball seemed so certain, and it was all so unreasonable to walk into a trap." Ram couldn't stop the words that came pouring out of him. "I never thought until tonight, about the miracles back in Egypt. Why weren't they enough proof for me that Yahweh would really deliver us in his own way through Moses? Now I know." Ram looked at his father with anguished eyes. "What's wrong with me, father? What will I do now?" Jaraheel put his arm about Ram and pulled him close. "What is wrong with you, son, is your youth. You were not so long out of childhood, not so long in manhood. What will you do? What all of us must do at times. You will ask forgiveness of Moses and Aaron. Then we will go on together to the promised land. Maybe we will both be wiser, more thankful now." Jaraheel ruffled his son's thick black hair. "You have learned something, eh? Trust in Yahweh is just that, no matter what things look like." Ram looked at his father with new wonder and respect. As they walked together, Ram's heart beat faster and his mind raced. Ahead of them was the tent of Moses. What would this prophet of Yahweh do to him? By the tent door, a figure sat playing softly on a flute. When Ram and his father drew close, he looked up. "What can I do for you?" Moses asked in a voice both quiet and questioning. "Please sit down," he added, gesturing to a place near the fire. When they were seated, Jaraheel began. "Moses, this is my son Ram, who has something to say to you." Moses, laying his flute on the ground, smiled and said, "Well then, lad, speak." Nervously, Ram cleared his throat, trying to find the words he knew he must say. "Sir, I have wronged you. I doubted your words. I sided with the men who wanted to go by the direct route to Canaan. I thought you were mistaken about Yahweh's leading, and that he might even let the cloud lead us in the wrong way as a punishment. I was wrong. I cannot doubt now that Yahweh is with you." Ram stopped, his cheeks burning hot. "Ram, I want to tell you something," Moses said gently. "When Yahweh first called me to return to Egypt, I doubted. Was I not still known in Egypt as a deserter? Who would believe me, an old man? I even argued with him and angered him. It's a long story, but in his kindness and patience with me, Yahweh sent my brother Aaron to help me. So you see, you are not the first one to fall into that trap." Moses gently touched Ram's chin, lifting the boy's face to look up. "From now on, you know that Yahweh is with his people to bring him into a good land, the promised land. Be brave, lad. Keep up your courage. Be strong for your people and faithful to Yahweh." In Moses' eyes, Ram saw a strength that he would never forget. A sob choked his throat so that he couldn't speak. "My son and I are grateful. May Yahweh bless you," Jaraheel said, rising to his feet. Ram stood also. Moses raised his arm in blessing. "May he bless you and keep you." The warmth of the words trapped themselves around Ram like a wool cloak against the night air. At his father's side, he walked toward their tent with steps lighter than they had been for weeks. Or was it his heart? "Father, if only we could help Abishur. He never doubted Moses. He tried to tell his father, but Uncle Shobal was angry with him and wouldn't listen. Abishur is a faithful son." "Not like me," Ram bit his lip. Jaraheel gripped Ram's arm. "Don't look back, son. Forgiveness washes away the old, lets the new breath and grow. You are my beloved son, and what you will be in future, by the grace of Yahweh, will make me proud." His father patted his arm. "As for Abishur, Yahweh sees his heart. When he is of age to leave his father's tent and take a wife, then we shall see a new Abishur. Rem was thinking of the new aperture when they entered the tent.